Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Mystic Destinies. Chapter 2 of Takumi's Route! I'm excited. I'm still excited. I did just record the first part, now I'm recording this part. I'm recording at least this three or four parts tonight. I'm so still so excited! Anyway, Chapter 2, Moonrise. Oh, this is new. School and club activities have long since ended, and I sit in the empty classroom by myself. Taco has been really bummed out these last few weeks since I had told him that I'm moving away. This is probably our memories. Since I told him, we haven't been talking much, and I can't help but feel sad that we might part like this. I know that I should go home already, but I don't feel like moving at all. I rest my head on my desk and sigh. Takumi, I don't want to end things between us like this. I hear the classroom door slide open behind me, and someone comes inside. I don't want it to end at all. A pair of slippered feet come into my view, and I look up to see a rather fidgety-looking Takumi. Please show me what he looked like as a child! Hey. The air between us feels so thick you could cut it with a knife. I hate it. I hate this. It never used to be so awkward. We stare at each other for a while, neither one daring to say anything first. Then, as if making up his mind, Takumi takes a deep breath and looks down at me with determination shining in his eyes. I promise that I'll go to the airport with you, to see you off. My heart jumps. The previous doom and gloom mood disappears within seconds. Really? Taku jerkily nods in return, and I can't keep the smile off my face. So we don't have to part on bad terms after all. I waited for Takumi after school for as long as I could, but he never showed up. Why weren't you there, Taku? In the end, I had to go home so I wouldn't be late. I walked all the way home with a heavy heart. I nearly walked right into Mother as she walks out of the kitchen. Inara, there you are. I was about to call you. Yeah, sorry. I had to stay behind school for a little longer than I expected. I'm not lying exactly. I just don't want to say it out loud. That Takumi broke his promise to me. Takumi's mother called me a little while ago. I look up. The faint feeling of hope rises in me. Maybe the whole RI family will come see us. Mother sighs. She looks so tired. It seems that there has been a family emergency of some kind. She wouldn't say what exactly. They wanted to come see us off, but they won't be able to make it now. The little hope that flared up in me shrivels up and dies instantly. My stomach feels so heavy, I think I might throw up. Family emergency? So I won't be able to come then? I'm sorry, Inara. I know you probably want to go see Takumi now, but we have to leave now or we'll miss our flight. Everything is already prepared. Just go have a quick shower and we'll head out. I went about everything as if on autopilot then, getting ready like I was supposed to. But the horribly oppressive feeling didn't stop. It wouldn't go away no matter what. We made it just on time for the flight. I spent the whole time on the plane feeling intensely lonely and sad. We've never talked since that time in the classroom when he made the promise to me. Takumi didn't try to contact me even once after that. That's so sad! I'm gonna cry! But he's here now, it's okay. As soon as I open my eyes, I wonder if I slept at all. I know I must have. I sit up in bed and stretch. My mind quickly wanders to yesterday's events. The strange basement under the school, getting attacked by a teacher, realizing that everything that had happened with her wasn't some strange nightmare. All that and finding my childhood best friend again. With all that's happened, it's hard to say which surprised me the most. I feel like my life is turning into something out of straight fiction. While I gather my thoughts, I look out the window. I stare at the wispy, barely there clouds without much thought. In this crazy time, it's nice to allow my mind to shut down for a little bit. A thought suddenly pushes its way into the forefront of my mind. What the? It's evening already? I must have been way more exhausted than I realized. Now that I remember Taku clearly, things might feel awkward between us, considering how he left it. I look around my room, but there are no signs of Taku ever having been here. I wonder what happened with him after I fell asleep. Did he just leave or snoop around my place first? Probably snooped. No, he probably just made sure I'm really out and went home. I'll just call him later. Time for a shower first, though. I push myself off the bed and head in for a quick shower. Come out naked and he's standing there. Yeah. I walk out of the bathroom with the towel wrapped tightly around myself. I didn't even think to take a clean change of clothes with me. Who does? Like a towel. Oh, I mean, I guess her bathroom is not in her bedroom because, like, one bedroom apartment, but it's like, who takes a clean change of clothes? You change in your bedroom so that you're not all sticky damp from, like, the steam in the shower. Ugh. Something catches my eye and I freeze. Takumi is sitting on my couch, rubbing his eyes with a little yawn. I knew it! Why are you still here? I didn't mean to shriek, not really. But my voice comes out so high and so loud that Takumi's eyes snap open and right to me. I don't wait for a response. Clutching my towel, I sprint into my bedroom and slam the door shut. I lean against the door, heart pounding. My face is burning so badly I feel like I need to dunk my head in a bucket of ice. Oh God, no. Why? Why did he have to see me like that? Why? How? It doesn't take long to put two and two together. Despite my earlier assumptions, it's now clear that Takumi stayed out there and slept over. It's obvious that I just didn't notice him on my way to the bathroom. Hey, Inara? Takumi's voice comes from the other side of the door. I'm sorry for staying over. I was just worried about you. Worried that you might have another power outburst without me. I shake my head but quickly stop myself. Right, he can't see me. I'm sorry for yelling at you. You just surprised me. I hear a small, amused chuckle. Can I come in then? No! I yell out, perhaps a little too loud, to which Takumi laughs. Just wait out there. I'll get dressed and be right out. Takumi makes an affirmative noise, and soon enough, I hear his footsteps going away from my bedroom. I stand there for a few seconds before moving to get some clothes on. I like that. Can I come in? Sure, I'm standing naked in a towel. Let's take off. Come on. We got it in Shinji's route. We can't take it away now. I'm horrible. Oh my God. And then here's me, like, when I have to read that, this is so awkward. I'm all talk, okay? I like to say things like that, but then when it happens and I have to read it, it's like, this is so awkward. After getting dressed and calming down a bit, I finally come out to the living room. Takumi looks up at me from his spot on the couch. We need to talk. Yes, we do. I agree. I take a seat on the other end of the couch, leaving plenty of space between us. Things feel awkward. Things feel beyond awkward now since I remember who he is, on top of everything that happened last night. And just now. But Takumi looks completely unaffected. He continues to look at me evenly. Seemingly not wanting to waste any time, he starts talking. What was it that you originally called me for yesterday? Well, I don't think I can attend to Hagawara anymore. I need to explain, so I'll start over from the beginning. But before I do, are you really familiar with the other world like you said? Takumi nods. My family's had ties with the supernatural world since before I was born. It's just not something we ever publicized to normal humans like you. I know I had asked, but to actually hear him confirm it, to actually hear that the Arais have had a hidden side to them like this feels shocking to say the least. I don't know what to say, but Takumi just continues to speak. I've always known about the basement in Hagawara, and I made it my goal to get down there this year to find out more. I don't know what happened with you and Ara, but I've seen enough supernaturals and incidents involving them to know something was up. Have you always had powers? I shake my head. I don't want to say it. I don't want to talk about it. Finally, I give in and sigh. It's pretty heavy, but just let me tell it all. Takumi nods without comment, quietly encouraging me to begin. It really only just happened, but my mother took me somewhere over the weekend. She drugged me and performed some kind of ritual on me, during which she told me the truth. Her real name is Shizuka. She's some ancient immortal sorceress who created me, a homunculus. I wasn't born, I was made. She made me to transfer a curse of immortality onto. She didn't ask me if I wanted any of this. She just did it. I meant so little to her that giving me a choice in my own life wasn't an option. I thought it was just some kind of horrible nightmare until Hikaru almost attacked me. I paused, unsure what else to say. The silence between us draws on for a while. I wonder if I'm really immortal now. Somewhere in the back of my mind, so deep that it's almost completely hidden, I feel a distinct sense of terror. I push it away, further down into the depths of my mind. No matter how much I don't want to think about it, the thought pops up. I'm not real. I don't have a father or a mother. Am I just a thing? I don't realize I'm even crying until Takumi puts his arm around me and holds me tight. Aw. Everything's gonna be okay. I have my face into his chest, clinging onto his shirt as he holds my shaking form in his arms. Takumi gently rubs my back as I cry, only quietly repeating "it's okay" to me over and over. I don't know how much time passes, but after a while I just run out of tears. I wipe my face with my sleeve, but I stay as I am in his arms. Oh! I don't look at him. I don't think I can just yet. Hey, Taku, why didn't you come to see me off that day? Takumi pulls back away from me. His eyes dart off to somewhere to the side. Off to somewhere to the side. I just got caught up with something and couldn't go, even though I felt terrible about it. It was a family emergency, right? Was it something to do with your grandmother? Is she okay? Yeah, she's okay. Takumi seems to want to leave it at that since he doesn't say anything else. You better tell us some point, boy. He's hiding something from me, that much is clear. But even if I feel like he is hiding something, I don't pry. He's here for me throughout all this, so the least I can do is not pry into whatever it is he doesn't want to talk about. Takumi doesn't say anything more, and neither do I. I end up staring off into space, trying to shut out any intrusive thoughts. Inara, if you want to talk, remember that I'm here. I was so excited to start school, start a whole new chapter of my life, you know? Now everything is in shambles. My entire life has been changed because of Shizuka's selfishness. I might not even be able to die now, for God's sake. It's all her fault. How dare she force her problems onto someone else? How horrible of a person could she be to raise a child solely for the purpose of forcing that onto her? Onto me? And then she just left without even making sure that I can control all these powers. I clench my fists and stand up. Seething, I glare at nothing in particular. Takumi stands up and moves closer to me. Inara, you need to calm down. I turn to finally face him. I want to find her. Her? Do you mean Shizuka? I nod. I want to find her and make her take this curse off me. Make her take her powers back. And if she won't, then I'll make her pay. Takumi looks unsettled at my declaration. He sighs and wordlessly falls back onto the couch. I look down at him with a single thought in mind. Are you going to help me or try to stop me? Taku sighs again and tiredly scratches his head. I'm not going to try and stop you, but I don't want to help you go down this path either. But still, I understand better than anyone that if you have a goal like that, you're not just going to forget about it, and that you'll only end up putting yourself in danger. He looks me in the eyes very seriously. Suddenly standing, he moves very close to my face. Hi. Are you truly serious about finding Shizuka? I nod and look away from him. I don't know how I can concentrate on my studies with something this big and unresolved hanging over me. Without knowing if I might kill someone by accident, or if I can even die myself. Besides that, I won't be able to sit still not knowing if she can fix it. At the very least, she deserves some of the pain she's given me. Taku nods slowly and sits back down. He sighs again. I promise I'll help you as best I can to find Shizuka. Do you happen to have any idea of where to start looking? I shake my head and sigh. No, I don't. I sit down next to Taku. We sit in silence for a while, both thinking about where to start with this whole thing. Sorry, I have an itch. Sorry, bird. My bird's sitting on my hand, and I had to move because my wrist was itchy, and he looks at you with this, like, how dare you? Where do we start? It's not like she left a trail of breadcrumbs for me to follow. No, maybe there is something. A slim chance of it, but I need to talk to my dad about Shizuka. I look down at my hands, and I'd like to just see him anyway. I've missed him. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Takumi begin to move, and stop for a moment, only to put an arm around my shoulder anyway. It's been a long time since I've seen your dad. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Are you going to tell him about everything that's happened? I practically jump away from him. No, I can't tell him. I trail off, my eyes fall back down to my hands. I can't tell him that I'm not human? I want to explain more, but my body refuses to cooperate. It's too painful, much too painful to say it, and so the words won't come. A silence passes between us once again. It feels like it drags on for centuries before Taku speaks up again. Hey, I haven't actually told you about my job yet, have I? I look up at him and shake my head no. I just assumed you knew because you asked me for help finding your mom. But then I realized you couldn't know. Taku stands up and points to himself rather dramatically. Well, you've picked the right guy for the job. 'Cause I'm a detective. A detective? Yep. Well, a private one, but that's what I do. Wow, really? When did you start doing that? Taku crosses his arms, looking particularly proud. He's so fucking adorable. About 3 years ago. But my mom doesn't know about it. It's complicated. Complicated? Why? Taku, what kind of detective work is this exactly? I mean, you're so young. What could you possibly be doing? Want to see for yourself? I'm sitting on the back of Takumi's scooter with my arms tightly wrapped around him. We've got some, like, noir jazz kind of music in the background, like, and then we rode off into the sunset. She was a classy dame. Like, I just, maybe a little too tightly, but I don't want to fall off. So where are we going exactly? I had a job tonight, but I was worried about leaving you alone. So this works out better for me now that you want to hire me. Job? What kind of job? Is it dangerous? Nah, well, kind of. But this guy should be easy. Guy? What guy? Tell me what we're doing. Don't worry about it too much. I'll protect you. I always have, right? I remember him trying, but it was always Yasu who actually helped us. I don't want to say that, so I just stay quiet instead. Right? Well, if you say so. Takumi sighs. I'll explain after we finish in the store. The store? What? What store? It's so late. You'll see. Taku stops in front of a building with shops. Coffee and restaurant. Dogul. Why are we here? This place is closed. I know. Can you get off now? I'll be right back. Oh, okay. I unwrap myself from Takumi and hop off. Before I can ask further, he drives off with his scooter. I stand there waiting, wondering what the hell is going on. I don't have to wait long because I can see Takumi calmly walking back towards me. Not saying anything, he takes something out of his pocket and kneels down by the door. He waves something black in front of something that I can only assume is a sensor of some sort. There's a faint beeping sound from within the building and the door slides open. Takumi doesn't give me a chance to say anything. Come on. He grabs me by the wrist and pulls me along inside. As we go inside, Takumi drops my hand and keeps walking, leaving me standing in place. I look around the dimly lit shop with an intense feeling of what the hell. That's cute. I like these little dresses over here. Takumi starts humming and looking around, pulling clothes off shelves and examining them. The cute little skirts, the plaid skirts over here are cute too. Kind of bathing suits are a little cute too. Here's me, like, visually shopping. I just noticed them as I was... Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. I snap out of my frozen state and quickly walk to Takumi. What are you doing? What are we doing here? We're gonna get caught. Takumi just keeps doing what he's doing without glancing up at me even once. No, we're not. You heard that beep. That was the alarm disarming. What size do you wear? I almost answer at a reflex, but quickly stop myself. That's not really any of your business, is it? And why does it matter? Takumi pauses and finally turns around to face me with an armful of clothes. You can't go on a mission dressed like that. He turns back around, hangs something back up, and grabs a black denim jacket while continuing to talk. Rule number 1 of dressing for a mission. Dress for mobility and safety. Rule number 2. Dress coolly. You can't do a good job if you don't feel like you look cool. For a while, all I can do is stare, not knowing how to react to something like that at all. You can see... She was wearing the sweater that she was wearing in the very beginning, and then this is the one that she changed to in Show's Path. Or was this Tetsuya's? I don't know, but it's like... And then she had a different kind of shirt in Shinji's, but now it's like... Now is she gonna have something more for this? Because she's worn this before. But Taku, are you a thief now? The store's closed, he shrugs. I know the owner. I'll pay her tomorrow or whatever. Then he turns back to me again, his eyes examining me a little too closely. You're probably a medium, right? What? Taku? Takumi just smirks and turns back around. If you want to stay in the colors, you should come over here and help me. If you want to stay in the colors. I was like, what? If you want to stay in the colors, you should come over here and help me. Fine. Grudgingly, I obey and go to him. As we stand next to each other in the dim light, Takumi gives me countless suggestions on what kind of clothes to get. Just as his rules suggest, they're all comfortable, made for movement, and cool looking. But whatever he does suggest, I find that I have to keep asking him the color of things since I can barely see. While he rummages through yet another rack of clothing, I watch him carefully. He can see in the dark with those eyes. Taku, how the hell can you see so well? Taku looks at me without saying anything for a minute, then he shrugs. Good genes, I guess. That's his unseen. He's got some kind of, like, magic cat power. Because he's like a cat burglar. And, like, is it Galen or was it... What's his face? Katsunasuki was calling him Kitty Cat or whatever. He's got some kind of weird cat powers because he can see in the dark. He's like a cat burglar. Yeah. He's some kind of like something. Takumi ignores the suspicious look I give him and shoves a stack of clothes into my arms. Go try these on, and if they don't... find sizes that do. I'm gonna go change into my gear. And before you ask, yes, I store it here from time to time. Taku walks away without another word. I'm left with no option but to go try on the clothing, even while feeling that this is all extraordinarily bizarre. I step out of the dressing room after finally trying out everything. Although I had to change a few things out, I did manage to find fitting clothes. Even if I can barely see if they look alright. Look, and she's got her hair up in a ponytail! Different hairstyle. I like it. Well, hoping they do. While I was in the dressing room, Taku told me to put my hair up so it wouldn't get in the way on the mission. Look at him. Ah! He's in his little super sexy ninja gear. I love it. When I step out into the general store area, I see Taku standing there in some weird-ass, although admittedly badass, ninja-esque gear. I wonder if this is what he meant by look cool. While I'm busying myself examining his clothes, he turns around to look at me. Seeing me, his face lights up instantly and he claps, gloves in hand. You look good! I look away the moment I feel my face heat up at the unexpected comment. I quickly gather myself and turn back to him. So do you. Really cool. Super cool. Really? I only catch the briefest hint of pink on his cheeks before he turns away. Aw. Thanks. Come on. Taku starts walking towards the back of the shop, and I scramble to follow after him. He pushes open the door that I hadn't noticed before, one that's hidden behind some shelves, and steps outside. I glance back at the shop before following Taku outside. As I step outside, I feel a strange shiver pass through me. One look around and it's clear that we're now in a completely different area. This is one of the magic things to Chawa? Huh. Is this the same area we were just at? Is it? Something's different. Because it is. I'm sure you felt that feeling just now when we went through the door. That was a gateway to a supernatural part of the city, Chawa. Chawa? I look around. A few people are out on the sidewalks, but they hardly spare us a glance despite how Taku looks. The people themselves all look normal, save for some strange hair colors. I look back at him and notice that Taku is leaning against a wall, hidden away in the shadows. He makes a hand motion to follow him and I obey. It's like so funny because he's like adorable, like, you're like, hey, oh my god, I'm kind of hyper and I'm adorable, and then when he's like dressed like this, it's like there's like the little added sexiness. You know, because it kind of, it's just like slightly different. It's just, we're only like 2 chapters in and I'm already like, I think it's just because he's in everything, and just that little bit of him in Tetsuya's route where he like saves you and you're like, oh, and then he's in love with you and you're like, oh, and why? How did that happen? How did it just become like, oh, you're like 2 chapters in and you're like, yeah. I mean, I guess I do that with all the guys, but I don't know. Man. Just flip-flop. Okay. Yeah, he makes a hand motion to follow him and I obey. We begin walking, keeping to the dimmer parts of the streets. We leave out of the brightly lit area into a darker one. I look around as we move through the street, noting down the different shops and their names. I've never heard of any of these before. Taku stops next to a closed shop, standing in the shadows. How could people not see an entire part of the city? And this looks pretty normal to me. Are you sure it's supernatural? Takumi laughs. Do you think I wouldn't know about the place I've been hanging out in for 3 years? And you'd be surprised at what supernaturals can do. There's a spell over this place that prevents humans from going in. Anyone who suspects anything will find themselves disoriented and confused every time they try to go in. There are lots of entrances, though. The one I showed you actually isn't an official entrance at all. The owner made a portal for her own personal use. Pretty amazing, right? I nod at everything he's saying so casually as people walk around us. Takumi looks around at the people passing by, then back at me. Inara, I need you to hold on to me as tight as you can. What? Just trust me, okay? Wrap your arms around me and don't let go for anything. What? How can the hell can you just tell me to do that? Just trust me. Well, why should I with a request like that? Trust him. I love that. Trust him. No way. Bad path. Yeah, it's like, why would we not trust Takumi? Come on. But no, he wouldn't ask without a good reason. I've known him for years. Even if he looks so different now, he's not that kind of guy. While I go through a variety of emotions, Takumi removes a tiny white bag from somewhere within his clothes. A tiny black gem catches my eye. It immediately stands out against the white material of the bag. As he reaches his hand into the seemingly impossible small bag, he mumbles quietly. I really wish it would have been black. White's classy, but it stands out so much. Beggars can't be choosers, I guess. My eyes grow wide as Taku pulls out, like some sort of magic trick, something that looks suspiciously like a steel gauntlet. He fastens it onto his wrist, under his jacket sleeve, and looks up at me as he pulls his arm straight up in a strange pose. Puts his arm straight up in a strange pose. Are you coming or what? Hang on to me tight, okay? I start to open my mouth, but Takumi stops me before I can say anything. No time for a million questions, alright? I'm already running late. Let's go. There's something commanding in Taku's voice as he says this. Something that makes me close my mouth. And I love that too. He's like, hey, Nar, what's up? Oh my god, I'm your friend. And now when he's like this, he's just like slightly sexier. And then he's like, come on, let's go. I don't have time. I got all day. Get over here, broad. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, I'm confused. Like, he pulls up his mask and stares at me. I sigh. And he used to be such a cute little boy. Yeah, but now look at him. He's like super sexy ninja assassin. And we're like super nerdy. Like, I love it. I do as instructed and move very close to him. Hesitantly, I put my arm around his shoulder. Oh, I like that she's got like little glove things on. Like this? Takumi grabs my other arm and puts it around his neck. So close that our faces are nearly touching. You could kiss him if there wasn't a mask in his face. With us being so close, I can see how soft his cheek looks and how he still has a bit of that baby fat that I remember. That calms down my heart a bit, but only somewhat, because I can also feel how surprisingly hard his chest is. Taku reaches around me and presses something on his gauntlet. Here we go. What? Ah! I can't precisely process what's happening, but the entire world seems to move strangely, twisting around. My vision is locked onto the rapidly receding ground as wind whips around us. There's a strange clicking sound like some sort of cog or mechanism whirring, and I begin to understand what's happening. We must be flying through the air? I try to move my head, but my body doesn't cooperate. Oh, don't look, don't look. A feeling of being completely lost at what to do in this situation overtakes my senses. Before I can do anything else, the whirring slows, and suddenly, the side of a building is coming straight at us. But Takumi kicks off with a little grunt as we come back towards the building. He yells, I'm gonna throw you! What? We come closer and closer to the building. Just tuck your arms and legs in as much as you can. As we come even closer, I find myself being tossed towards the rooftop of the building. I feel the urge to flail, but manage to sort of curl up instead and make contact with the ground, rolling as I land. Ugh! Ooh! I lie there on the ground where I landed, too stunned to move. I stare up at the night sky in a daze. It's fucking awesome. This is like the best first 2 chapters ever. There's so much going on. I love it. Oh my god. Ah! Anyway, yeah, so, and these chapters are super freaking long. Wow. I was hoping I could get like at least 4 of them done today, but I think I'm only gonna have time for 1 more, so yeah, wow. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.